The Wife Aquatic got off to a really strong start, and then it continued to be good, and then the episode went downhill. This is the 10th episode of the 18th season of The Simpsons, directed by Lance Kramer. And it starts off with an outdoor film. Really enjoyed those scenes. I think it might have went on a little longer than necessary, but it was still interesting. And then Homer decides to take Marge to Barnacle Bay, which is a vacation spot she used to go to as a child. We get to see, clips of her as a young girl in this area, and it was really lovely and really sweet. And it was such a moving thing for Homer to do. It took him a little time to get to the idea, but once he did, I thought it was really lovely, and I thought, this is great. Marge is getting something that's really special for her. When they get there, they realise the town isn't quite what she remembered it. It's very run down now. And I thought, okay, the episode's going to be about them building up the town. Marge is going to have some disappointments, but ultimately, as a family, things will get restored and it'll all be great. No. It actually becomes about Homer and fishing and a storm, and suddenly Marge is no longer relevant. It does cut back to her occasionally, but I just thought it was really ironic that an episode where Homer is doing something nice for Marge ends up becoming all about Homer. It's like, just once, can't you make it about Marge? I know we had a Marge-centric episode recently, but Homer ruined that for her. And I don't know, I just felt like the direction it took was really boring, and it just wasn't interesting. It definitely took a direction I wasn't expecting. The last few scenes, I have to say, were not what I'd anticipated. So credit where it's due, it wasn't completely predictable. But in between, let's say, the halfway mark and the final couple of minutes, it was so dull and not very funny at all. The animation quality was fine, the voice acting was fine, they were the usual quality, but everything else was so dire and just not interesting at all. And then, as I said, it saved itself in the last couple of minutes, but it started off really strong, and I was really hopeful that this would be a really solid quality episode. What I did like, though, is Ling featured, Ling Bouvier. I think this is the first time she's actually featured since they brought her back home, or since they brought her home. So I did wonder if they'd just forgotten about the character. But no, she did feature very briefly in the opening scenes, so that was very nice. But it's not a great episode. It's not terrible. There are some good bits. In fact, the good bits are really good. Really enjoyable. But the rest of it, very, very weak. 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb across 1.5 thousand reviews and ratings. For The Simpsons, that's definitely a very low rating, and I have to say, I kind of agree.